and advancement is there. And the factors which motivate individual is the motivators. And definitely we will have to guided by the need and also the drive and goals. Motivation always depends on the strength of the motivators. And you know that three interesting factors are there, which are interdependent and interdependent elements. One is need, another is drive and goal. They are interrelated each other. A need is a state of deficiency. That when we are having the physiological needs, when we are having the psychological imbalance, then definitely we want to satisfy it. The need of hunger, when we will feel hungry, then we are deprived of the food. Then we will have to search for the food. It is due to hunger. Hunger is a drive also. We say that hunger is the drive. So it differs from the need. Drive is differing from the need. That with the direction when we are going, the need of the food, the hunger is the drive. But when we will get the food, then automatically we can achieve the success. That goal is the end of the motivation cycle. So the right is what? The physiological or psychological imbalance. When we are feeling, we want to satisfy the need. Eating food will restore the balance and reduce the drive. And automatically, when we will have to fulfill our desires, means we will fulfill the needs, then automatically we can satisfy our hunger, which is the drive. Then automatically, after getting the food, our goal is achieved. But the different theories of the motivations are there, and it can be categorized in the two. One is content theories and another is process theories. Content theories mainly focus on the internal factors that energizes and direct the human behavior. Maslow's theory, that is the hierarchy of needs. Alpher's ERG theory is also there. Heisenberg's motivator hygiene theory is there. Let us go by one. But process theory is always related, that motivation provides an opportunity to understand thought process of ourselves and it influences the behavior. Process theory of motivation includes Adams' equity theory, Bloom's expectancy theory, and goal setting theory and reinforcement theory. Let us come to discuss the content theory, Maslow's theory. That is hierarchical by nature, and he arranges the human needs on a hierarchy. First is physiological needs. Physiological needs means the basic needs of ourselves. That is the food, water, shelter, and sleep. These are all the basic needs of ourselves. We want to satisfy it. But how we can want to satisfy it? If there will be no security, if there will be no safety to fulfill the needs, then definitely we cannot do that. There should not be any physical danger, and there should not be the fear of the loss of the job or property or food or shelter. Then if there will be the safety, then automatically we can to satisfy our desires or our needs. Suppose you are interested to get food, but if the food will be available free of cost, it is available at family. But whenever you are going to a shop, then you will have to pay for it. Then there you will have to feel the safety, the security will be there. And affiliation is there, acceptance. Affiliation means the acceptance of the need. We are social beings. We need to belong to the society. And if the society will not accept it, and if it is not acceptable by all, then definitely we cannot satisfy our needs. So acceptance should be there. First is physiological needs. Next is security should be there, or safety should be there, and there should be the acceptance. Then next, after the acceptance, we will have to know esteem needs. Esteem means after fulfilling the desires, after fulfilling our needs, This kind of the need produces such satisfaction that whether we are energized or whether we will have to get the power, whether we will have to uh, get prestige, or whether there is the status of ourself is there, whether we are getting the self-confidence, that is the esteem need. We must have to be very self-conscious. We say that self-respect. When we will have to consider the self-respect, then definitely we will not do anything wrong in the society. But need for self-actualization is very important. It is the highest need. That first need I have told you, that the physiological needs, that is always related to basic needs. Then we will have to get the safety to satisfy the needs. Then we will have to get the acceptance. Then we will have to keep our respect with the esteem needs. That is the our prestige. Then last is need for self-actualization. Self-actualization is nothing but we will have to get the self-satisfaction. Highest need, that what we are interested to do, what we are desired to become, then we are capable to do this, that our potentialities are able to achieve the success. This is the Maslow's theory in content theories. And another theory is Alpert's ERG. ERG of G, E means existence, R means relatedness, and G means growth. It is the refinement theory of Maslow's theory. Alpert proposed hierarchical theory in three core needs. Only he give importance on three needs. That is, one is existence, another is relatedness, and next is growth. Existence means, you know, that when we are having the physical needs, that when we are feeling hungry, then we desire food, or whether food is available or not. If it is existed or not, then automatically we'll search for the another. Existence needs physical well-being to live in the society or to have the physical life. We want to satisfy the physical needs of ourselves. Then related needs, that is the satisfactory relation with others. That is nothing but related to personal and family relationship. That where we will have to get the social recognitions, means social attachment is there, social love and attachment is there. So first existence need, then relatedness need, and another is growth needs. Growth needs means when we'll satisfy the needs, then definitely we can able to develop our potentialities. That is the very intrinsic by nature. That is the personal growth, that we'll have to develop the competency of ourselves, and we'll have to realize that we are having the potentialities and we can achieve the success. So this is very similar to the Maslow's theory, but collapsed into three tiers. There is the five tiers, but it is collapsed into three tiers. But for example, sex does not appear at the bottom need. Maslow's model, sex is not appear at the bottom because in the early stage we are not concerned with the sex. Only where hunger, thirst is there. So another is McSelenen's theory has contributed to understanding of motivation by identifying three types of the basic motivating needs. Number one is need for power, need for affiliation, and need for achievement. Need for power means those who are the high need of power, the individuals generally seeing the positions of leadership. Some people are interested to develop their leadership qualities. They're interested to get some power. Affiliation means usually derive pleasure from the being loved. When we become the leader, you must have to be loved by the others, and you must have to avoid the pain of rejection. that if the social group will reject you, then you will never become the leader. Achievement means when you will have to achieve success. That is the intense desire of anybody. That need which have intense desire for success. The equally intense fear of failure is there. If there will be the failure, no success will be there. So it is very difficult to achieve the goals if you will not have to fulfill the above things. You must need power, but you must have to need for affiliation with the others. You must be loved by the others, or you must have to avoid the pain of being rejection. Box theory, there are two factors which are very much affecting the motivation: hygienic factors and motivators. Hygienic factors means if the working condition of an institution will not conducive, if there will be no security, if there will be no pay benefit, if there will be no health insurance, if there will be no policy of the organization, if there will be no healthy interpersonal relationship, then one will not be motivated to work in that organization. Hygienic factor is very important. The working condition is very important. We must have to work in such a condition which is very conducive for us, where there will be the security of pay benefits. Health insurance should be there. The policy should be accepted by us. There will be the healthy interpersonal relationship among the members, those who are working in that organization. Then another is motivators. Then who are the motivators? That motivators is nothing but the leaders, the principal, the managers, they are the motivators. And you all we are all having the creativity. We are having the aesthetic power. If our intelligence will not be accepted, if our intellectual curiosity will not be fulfilled, if we will not do anything creatively, if our work will not be appreciated by the authority, then definitely we will not able to do something. So one's intellectual curiosity and fulfillment, creativity, aesthetic appreciation should be taken into consideration. Hygienic factors are essential, but still then we should not be motivated unless we will have to get recognition in that organization. So, but two scales are very independent. They can raise ourselves in that organization or motivated to work properly in that organization. Let us come to discuss the process theory. Process theory explains how workers select behavioral actions to meet their needs and determine their choices. You know that is equity theory. And you know that when we are concerned with the equity theory, then definitely we must have to know that there should be the fair and there should be the impartiality when we are doing a job in a particular organization. Equity theory refers to the individual subjectivity judgment about the equity or fairness of the reward and the relationship what we will have to got in that organization. That is the input factors are there. And where there will be the input, then automatically there will be the output. So definitely when we are considering the result of anything, at that time we are considering the output by a person, and also we are getting the output by another person. Similarly, the result of output by a person divided by the input by a person. Then again, output by another person divided by the input by another person. There will be a comparison. If the comparison will be there, then definitely we can able to do something because we want the reward. There will be the fairness. There will be the judgment. It may be the subjective judgment. but still then always we are comparing ourselves with another. What type of the input we are getting and what type of the output we are showing to the organism. Similarly, another person is there. He is also getting the input and he is also getting the output. There will be the comparison. In that comparison, we can able to judge ourselves. Another is expectancy theory. Expectancy theory means you know that this theory says that employee will be motivated to exert a high level of effort when he believes that effort will lead a good performance appraisal. Expectancy means our expectation. Each and everybody expect that he will do certain good things, but his efforts will lead a good performance appraisal. Means everybody should to appraise himself. Means everybody appraisal means is nothing but judgment about the value. One will give the value judgment. A good appraisal means value judgment will lead the organizational rewards. When all the people will do something better, they can able to get rewards. The organizational rewards will satisfy the personal goals of the members, those who are working in that organization. So definitely when we have to motivate the staff members and teachers and managers and principals, the strength of the employees will increase. The participation will increase, their efforts will increase as far as possible. And clarity of expectation will be judged. And when the clarity of expectation will be judged, the performances of their will be reviewed. And when the performances are always tie up with the rewards, then automatically rewards are acceptable and desirable. Then another theory is reinforcement theory. Reinforcement theory is always related to law of effect. That you know that Thorndike, law of readiness, law of readiness, law of exercise, and law of effect. Suppose we'll try again and again. We'll have to get the result. And if the result will not be positive, if the result will not give us the satisfaction, then definitely we are not interested to something. So reinforcement is there. Suppose when the cat is trying its best and getting the result, actually fish, if you will not get, then if the plastic fish you will have to get, then definitely you will never try again and again to achieve the success. So when we are learning something, at that time, if the result will not give us a positive reinforcement, then we cannot do it. So 4 techniques we'll have to adopt in reinforcement theory. One is positive reinforcement, the rewards, desirable behavior. Positive reinforcement means we must have to increase the salary of the people. We must have to give the, we can say promotion for the best work of the employees. Avoidance means avoidance is another attempt to intentionally withhold the reinforcement. If an employee does not engage in proper behavior, he will not receive any recognition. Then automatically he will not work. So sometimes if anybody avoids to do something, he will not get any reward. Then sometimes avoidance is also not accepted. It withholds the reinforcement. Another is extinction. Extinction means it is basically ignoring the behavior of the subordinate, not providing either positive or negative reinforcement. Extinction process is there in the Pavlov's theory that the artificial stimulation always creates the natural response. But if again and again we'll have to give artificial stimulation, then automatically if the result will not come, then there will be the extinction. That when again and again there was the ring of the bell sound, and there will be no question of getting the food, then automatically the organism will feel that bell sound is artificial, and artificial stimulation will never give the natural response. So there will be the extinction. But after some time, if again there is the sound of the bell, the organism will also expect that the food will come. But sometimes we'll have to get the time interval. But here, if someone is ignoring, basically, extinction is basically ignoring the behavior of a subordinate and not providing either positive or negative reinforcement. Then next is punishment. Suppose if there will be the every possibility of the threats, suppose if payment will be blocked, if suspension will be there, it will also create a threat among the members, those who are working. And they will also sometimes the negative consequences will help us to do better. So we can able to attempt to do something. It may decrease, but the behavior will also be able to stable after some days. The threat of punishment is there because when a student is appearing the examination, there is the every possibility of the threats of the fail or pass. If one will think that he will fail in the examination, then definitely he will have to read more and more. By chance, he will have to pass the examination. So definitely, sometimes punishment is also making us the courage to do something because you know that when we are thinking about the theories, then in the classroom techniques of motivation, we are always using the praise and blame. If we praise the students, then the students will able to do something better. Sometimes we are giving the rewards and also the punishment. When we are giving rewards in symbolic or in matter, then automatically the students can do better. Punishment, out of fear, the students are also trying their best to do the home tax. So here I will have to say that the techniques sometimes in the classroom always we are using the motivational forces to increase the study atmospheres and we can able to help the students to do better in the examination. Sometimes we are creating a novelty situation. We are always keeping in mind the individual differences and also we are using the word always competition and cooperation. Sometimes we are also providing the knowledge of the result and we are also giving the scope to create a good physical environment which can attract the students to sit and read in a particular classroom situation. And sometimes when one will have to use the audio visual aids inside the classroom situations, then automatically the students will be more attractive. Now in every classroom, we are also getting this form of the smart classroom and small classroom is also very much motivating factors for the students. But in the educational institutions, you know that learning what is acceptable to the organization influences motivated behavior. And you know that the principals, managers who are trying to motivate their employees should be sure to inform individuals what they are doing wrong and be careful not to reward all the individuals at the same time. Suppose if we will provide rewards to all, then definitely others will not be motivated to do something. So one is doing wrong, he should not be given importance. And when we are giving the rewards, always we must have to consider all the matters. Educational managers or principals must inform or direct or guide the individuals what they can do or receive reinforcement. Suppose to get the prize, to get the rewards, what they will have to do, in what manner they will have to proceed, and in which way they will have to succeed in a particular task which is assigned to the student. The educational manager or the principals must be sure to that he is the administrator. The reinforcement is closely related to the success of the students or the appearances of the behavior of the students. We'll have to consider all these things. The managers and the principals must recognize that failure to rewards can also modify the behavior. Suppose if one will fail to get the rewards, sometimes he is also show their interest do better to get the reward. Another is goal setting theory, and this theory is proposed by the Eugene Locke that first we'll have to decide the goal. We'll have to decide the objectives. Then automatically we'll set the goals. When we'll set the objectives, the students and teachers and employees sit together and they will have to plan something to achieve the goal. That when we are setting the goals, we must have to know that what type of the feedback we'll have to get and how we can do better. Because after setting the goals, we'll have to find out the objectives. And when we'll have to find out the objectives, then the objectives will be achieved step by step to reach the goal. That you know that only we can get the feedback to know our failures and success. So motivation factors definitely do not exist in vacuum. In the vacuum, we will not motivate anybody. Even individual desires and drives are there because we are having the physiological needs, sociological needs, and psychological needs. So each and every person is having some background. Then automatically these are helping us to give a force to do something. When we'll get a force to do something, that is the motivation. So in any organization, motivational factors are very much essential to achieve success of that organization. And those who are working, every individual is very much interested or conditioned by the physiological needs and also needs arising out of the person's background. So particularly the personal needs are very essential to do something or to motivated to do something. Then an employee may have the motivational needs. As a principal, the role and responsibility is to intensify the needs and act to support them to satisfy them. তার অর্থ হচ্ছে যে suppose an employee is always interested to satisfy the needs. The students are always interested to satisfy their needs. The role of the principal, the role of the role and responsibility of the principal is to intensify it or to have a intensive study of it, the needs of others, and try to support the needs of the others and try to satisfy them. So definitely we say that motivation is a major determinant of the productivity. If it refers to such inner striving conditions as wishes, desires, and motives, and so on. So we can say that without motivation, we cannot do anything. So motivation is the factor which can give certain force internally and externally to do something in a better. And you know that interest is the mother of the attention. And interest is always related our motives. That if you are motivated to do something, then automatically we'll have to get the ways and means how to succeed in, how to achieve it. So success is with us and we can achieve it if we'll motivated properly and if we'll have to attend properly to find out the ways and means how to achieve it. This is regarding the unit 3. let us go to the unit 4. It is very interesting topic and it is always related to ourselves. That is the self-management and educational management. You all know that we are all the human beings. We are always interested to do something. We want to success in every spheres. When we are interested to take food, we are interested to take better food. When we are interested to live in a particular house, we are always desirous to get a better house, well furnished house. So definitely, when we are playing the games, at that time we are interested that we must have to get a particular price. So in every spheres of our life, whatever we are doing, whatever we are thinking, we are always aspiring success. We never accept the failure. We are not interested to be punished. We want to get pleasure always. Suppose in a particular class, if all students are interested that they should get the first class, how it is possible? If every student will say that the result will be the 100%, how it is possible? So there is individual differences. And automatically when we are living together, when we are living in a particular family, we are having the brothers and sisters, but our all brothers and sisters are not equal. And you know that two brothers are there. One is a police officer and another is a dacoit. But how it is possible? It is due to motivational factor. It is due to misutilization of the intelligence or utilization of the intelligence. The God has given us the power, but if we will have to utilize the power properly, innate power properly, then we can achieve the success in life. So definitely we aspire success in all what we do. Passing the examination, winning the sports and games, competing with the debates and any competitions, we want success. Even if in our career, even if in our professional growth, in the career promotion, we want success. But the question arises, how we can able to get success? We are all human beings. We are having the conflicts. We are having the tension. We are having the frustration. We are having these so many desires. It is not able to fulfill. We cannot fulfill all the wishes we have. Then the question comes here, how to manage ourselves, how to manage our life. That so many problems are there in our personal life, in social life and professional life. In every field, if we will not do effectively, then we will have to get the problem. So management of life is very important. So how in the management of life, we are finding the different situation. We are facing the life. We are facing our career. Sometimes we are managing it very successfully, and sometimes we are also failing to get success, or we are failing miserably. Here, the present unit is discussing the self-management, the importance of the social skills in managing the self, and the social and life skills listed by the UNESCO and who and UNICEF. So self-management is very crucial because we are dealing with the human beings. Always I am telling that the behaviors of the human beings are very complex. It is not very simple. Face is the index of the man. Sometimes face will not tell the truth. Whenever we are seeing the face, automatically we cannot able judge the particular individual. So self-management is very essential in our life. Self-management is nothing but the ability to manage the personal reactions and responsibilities and challenges. Where? In the workplace and also in our life. It involves managing the time and adapting a changing situation. How we are managing the time and how we are adapting ourselves in the changing environment. Because a person is always able to adjust in the changing environment with his past experience and past knowledge. And it is depending upon the problem solving capacity of the individual. How we are reflecting our experiences, how we are utilizing our experiences, and we are getting the better impact on changing situations. So it requires that we must have to reflect our experiences and effects on the physical and mental state of mind. So for the self-management, we must have to say that time management is the best factor. Time management, priorities, activities, and tasks. We must have to manage the time. We must have to give the activities which has the priority. We must have to perform the tasks taking in consideration of the priorities. And we must have the confidence in ourselves. And we must have to take the challenge. And we must have to ready to experiment whether we'll have to get the success or not. But sometimes we must have to consider the ability of ourselves taking the decision. Sometimes when we will not take decisions, then we must have the ability to negotiate with the others. And sometimes we are not in a position. We are not in a position to accept the criticism. But always we must have the position to accept the positive criticism, the constructive criticism. And when we are doing something, at that time, it be democratic by nature. Our decision should be democratic. And always we must have to consider that when we are accepting the change, we should know that change is the nature of the life. It is the integral part of the life. Always we must have to adopt the innovative methods to adjust in the changing environment. But sometimes we require the skills to manage ourselves. And our skills are also related to our background skills. The background skills are 5 types. One is reflection, self-awareness, planning and monitoring, time management, flexibility, and self-appraisal. What is reflection? You know that learning from this process of the contemplation means we must have to consider with continued attention and awareness. We should be aware about ourselves and we must have to give attention continuously. When we are aware about our motivations, needs, and desires, then we can able to think and respond in the different situation. Even if we can respond to a particular people and we know our actions and we can perceive the nature of the others and state of mind, and we can able to know our emotions and feelings. And when we are keeping the relationship with others, then definitely we'll have to consider the behavior of ourselves. So it is nothing but the reflections. Reflections are on our needs, motivations, desires, respond to people's situations, and our actions and state of mind, our emotions, our feelings, and everything. That these are having the reflection in the different fields. Next point is self-awareness. Self-awareness, the perception of the skills, knowledge, and responsibilities and value. It may be the personal, it may be the professional. Perception is what? You know that we are the sensation. We are having the sense organs. We are having the five sense organs. The five sense organs when active, then we are going for the sensation. The sensation leads to perception. Perception leads to concept formation. So definitely we must have to perceive ourselves, our skills, our knowledge and responsibilities, and our values, professionally and personally. When we acknowledge the talents of ourselves, and when we feel confident that we can do something, when we know our talents, when we know our skills, then we can able to develop this self-confidence among ourselves. And it helps us to finish the work. That is the self-management. Self-management is always related to self-awareness. You must have to know your capacity. You must have to know your efficiency. You must have to know your talents. You must have to know your skills. That will be very essential. Another point is planning and monitoring. That when we'll go for the realistic strategy formula, we want to solve the problem and we want to reach the goal. So when we are interested to do something with our skills, with our talent, with our intelligence, then definitely we must have to anticipate the problems. We must have to anticipate the constraint, what we are facing, that how we are able to adjust with our plans and programs. We must have to review our success and failures, and we have to formulate the adjusting plans to accommodate the changes in the situations and give some priority. Then automatically planning and monitoring will be there. And when there will be the planning, if planning is good, your work is half done. So assessing the success of a strategy in reaching the original goal, then definitely we'll have to find, we'll have to set a time frame. We'll have to think the resources, and we must have to think the budget allocation. So it is nothing. After considering all these things, then we can able to achieve success in any work. That is, it is the management of yourself. Then we'll have to consider the time management. Time management is very important. That we are having the different demands, but we want to fulfill it. But how to fulfill it if we will have the availability of the time? We'll have to set the priorities. We will have to schedule the time. Then automatically we can able to provide the responsibility and we can able to fulfill the needs of the others. So to finish the work in time, we must have to maintain a diary. We must have to make a planner. Then it minimizes the stress of ourselves because we cannot achieve success in one day. If it is 6 months program, then automatically within these 6 months, we must have to achieve this success or we must have to achieve our goal. So definitely you will schedule your time, you will give responsibility to the others according to the needs, and you must have to maintain a proper records so that automatically we can able to manage the time. And next point is self-appraisal. Self-appraisal is what? That is the appraisal, we can say, I am always saying that appraisal is nothing but the judgment about the value. That we will have to judge our efforts. We must have to judge our progress. And you know that objectively analysis is essential for a particular situation. Our skills, our qualities, our strength and weakness, everything should be taken into consideration. When we'll have to judge the strength and weakness of ourselves, then automatically we can able to get success in our life. So self-appraisal means the value judgment, means we'll have to give a judgment of our work. When the people will say that we are doing a good job and they are getting some satisfaction. Suppose Ramo is a good boy. When we are saying that Ramo is a good boy, then definitely we are considering the scholastic activities of the Ramo and non-scholastic activities of the Ramo. That we are considering the academic side and non-academic side. After considering all the qualities, we say that Ramu is a good boy. Similarly, when we are interested to achieve success in a particular field, we want to achieve the goal, then definitely we must have to describe our strength and weakness objectively. And we must have to reflect it among ourselves in the progress register. So identify the areas where we are increasing our knowledge and skills, and there is also how to satisfy the others to achieve the success or achieve the goals of ourselves. So identifying areas of our life where we would like to increase our own knowledge and skills, and we'll have to set the goals to meet these aims. But here one question is there, why self-management is very important. You know that self-management technique is very important for every individual, because in the beginning I am telling that we want success in our life. We want success in the every field of our life, that we must have to get the better result or the best result. To succeed in one's career and life, there are various techniques that we must have to know, and we must have to manage ourselves so that we can have a better life. So what are these self-management techniques? That how we can able to reduce the stress. That you know that when we are doing something, at that time we are living in stress and strain, that we are sometimes not in a position to face the situation. So there are different types of the self-management techniques. We can say that number one may be learn to cope with stress. Each and everybody has the stress in our mind. Tension is there. When there is the conflict, there is the tension. A conflict, there is the tension. And after the tension, there will be the frustration. So learn to cope with stress. Develop your self-esteem and personal confidence. Always you must have to develop the personal confidence on yourself. That whenever you are facing the problem, you must have to able to solve the problem. That you are always trying to face the conflict and always try to develop a positive attitude to study it. And we must have the patience, that when we are developing academic skills, then gradually we want to develop a adjustment formula, that gradually we'll have to make adjustment to succeed. Sometimes we are interested to get feedback, that when we are interested to get feedback, feedback is nothing but when we are doing some sort of the mistakes. At that time, if anybody is saying that you are doing mistake, then automatically we must have to rectify it. The feedback is always preventing us to doing any wrong. So to avoid the wrong, to avoid the mistakes, we must have to learn from the feedback, and to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and to learn to manage your time in better. Time is precious. If you do not want to do certain things in time, then definitely you will have to face the problem. Learn to manage the time properly. So when we are observing that life is not a smooth functioning process, then it will never learn very smoothly. Then there is the ups and downs in every step of our life. So why there is the ups and downs? Because when we are unable to do something, when we are unable to achieve the objectives, when we are unable to do something, then at that time we are getting stress. So stress is the part of our life. We cannot avoid it. And sometimes you know that when the students are getting the coaching, at that time they are in stress because they want to appear the competitive examination and they want to get success. But when they are remaining in a particular hostel and when they are not in coping properly, they are always having the comparison with the others, then they are feeling that they are alone. They cannot succeed in the competitions. At that time they are frustrated and lastly they are committing suicide. So always stress we have to take into consideration as a part of our life. So in any educational institution, every individual has certain amount of the stress and some stress may be necessary because if you will not get the stress, you cannot finish the project. Suppose you are having getting the stress to attending the classes because you are here to only to listen, so definitely you are taking the stress. I am also taking the stress that I will have to teach you for 2 hours because I will have to prepare and I will have to talk with you for 2 hours for a long period. So I am also taking this stress. Stress is the life and it is the part of the life. Some stress may be necessary for us to finish the work and project because though we are having the stress, we want to finish the project, we want to take the class, and we want to attend the classes. So without stress, life will never be easy. So without stress, you may go easy, but your work will not complete or you will not able to achieve the goals. In other words, your zeal of work may not be found. Take the stress and you must have to avoid the stress properly so that you can able to succeed. There are some common stress symptoms what we are finding among ourselves. There will be the feeling hair, anxiety, attack is there, irritated, bowel disorder, headache is there, loss of appetite is there, increase in appetite is also there. So definitely, first we must have to reduce the stress. Increase you can that we know that we are having this stress. So first we must have to have our emotional and physical reactions and all the sources of this stress. After identifying the sources of the stress, then automatically we must have to find out the ways and means how we can able to react to our body and mind. So once you have identified the source of our stress, then automatically it will be minimized and we can avoid it. So avoidance of stress, we can say that it is better. And first identify it, the source of stress, then automatically you can avoid it. Let us come to discuss the social skills. Social skills, you know that there are certain skills which are very much essential for us. One is social skills and self-development. And you know that UNESCO and UNICEF develop certain skills which are very much essential for us. The life skills are there. The 10 life skills are there. One is problem solving, another is critical thinking, three is number three is effective communication, four is decision making, five is creative thinking, six is interpersonal relationship, self-awareness, building skill, empathy, coping with stress and emotions. These are all the 10 skills, life skills, which we must have to learn. Problem solving, each and everybody we are having the problem, we must have to solve it. Critical thinking means whenever we are thinking anything, at that time we are not thinking it seriously. So we must have to think in a critical manner. So we must have the effective communication, that what we are communicating to others, others should able to understand it. If your communication skill will fail, then you cannot communicate properly to the others. Decision making, each and every individual must have the capacity to take decision. After taking the decision, you must have to stick with it, then automatically you will not find any problem. Creative thinking, that you know that each and everybody has the creative power, and if you will create something new, then it will be accepted by the others. So creative thinking is very essential for us. Interpersonal relationship, that we are living in a society, we are living in the family, so there are so many peoples are around us, in and around us, then we must have the interpersonal relationship, how to develop the skills to keep good relationship with others. Self-awareness building skill. Sometimes we are not able to know ourselves. We are not able to know our success and failures. We are not able to know our abilities. And we must have to develop self-awareness building skills. And another is empathy. Empathy means it is nothing. Sympathy and empathy is quite different. Suppose if you will not able to understand the stress of hungry man, then automatically you cannot help the hungry man to providing the food. First you will remain in hungry, they can then you can able to understand that what is the we can say the what is the pain of a hungry man, and after that you can able to know it. So you must have to realize others pain with yourself. That is the empathy. Coping with the stress, that whenever we are getting the stress, we must have to cope properly with the stress. And last is emotion, because sometimes we are becoming very emotional, sometimes we are aggressive by nature, sometimes we are kind hearted, and sometimes we are very lovely towards the others, but we do not know that excess love and hatredness will destroy the man. Suppose if we will love anybody with wholeheartedly, then if we will get some sort of the betrayal, then automatically it will hurt you. If we will hatred others, then automatically the hatred people may kill you. So there should not be in any case that you should love too much and hate anybody too much. So let us come to discuss the social skills. You know the social skills that promotes more productive and positive interaction with the others, because we are living in the society, we are having the different types of the members in the society, and if there will be the interaction properly, then automatically you will having the skills. You know that somebody in the society is becoming the leaders because he has some social qualities, that is the love, affection, sympathy, fellow feelings, and sharing, caring, all are the social skills what we have. Then all these things we must have to develop in a particular environment, and that environment will be very conducive and which will able to recognize yourself in the society. So we must have to teach the social school skills to the students who are present now. Socially unskilled people are not accepted by the others, but sometimes those who are socially unskilled, our teachers should take the care to teach some social skills. The social skill training program should be there, and you know that approaching others in social acceptable ways is very important. How to make and keep friends, how to share the materials among the friends, that is the social skill training program. That equity and positive interaction with the others, positive interaction with the others is very important. That we must have to approach the others in the socially acceptable ways, not uncivilized ways. That how to make and keep the friends is very important. We know the methods, and always we must have to share the different materials among ourselves. Another point is appropriate classroom behavior. That we are always remaining in the school, we are having the work habits, we are having the academic habits, and we are also interested to survive in the society or any institutions. So these are all the work habit skills, academic skills, survival skills, which are very much essential for us. But best character of anybody to be socialized is listening. That always you have the patience to listen to others. That always you will not have to argue with others. And whatever the tax the teachers are giving, you must have to attend it. And you must have to follow the directions. And you must have to give attention properly. And you must have to accept the consequences of your behavior. That when you will be sociable, then automatically in the classroom your work habits should be developed. You must have the patience to listen, you must have to attend the tasks, and you must have to follow the direction of the teachers, and you must have to seek the attention properly, and you must have to accept the consequence of one's behavior. Better ways to handle the frustration and anger. That when you are becoming angry, at that time you are the students, you must have to count from 1 to 10. 1 to 10 you will count because you are angry. So if you can count patiently 1 to 10, then definitely your attention will be diverted. Distracting oneself for the pleasurable task. Pleasurable task means you are angry, so you must have to do a task which gives you the pleasure. But when we are angry, whether we'll have to accept the pleasurable tax, it is not possible. But you must have to divert your mind. So always try to dialogue with you in a cool mood. Internal dialogue, cool mood dialogue should be there. And when there will be a dialogue in the cool mood, that will reflect your behavior. That will reflect your behavior. And that is the best thing when you will become the cool. Always I am saying my students that when you are angry, try to keep silence, try to close your eyes, and you will say that I am wrong and he is right. And when you will say that I am wrong, then your ego power will reduce. Then automatically there will be the silence, and automatically you will have to in a mood of cool. So when you will cool, everything is cool. The other party will be cool automatically, because what he will say, let him say, you will have to listen. Acceptable ways to resolve the conflict with others. That using words instead of the physical contact. That sometimes we are using our hands and legs, we are using our physical strength, but always try to use the words, not the physical strength. So try to learn using ways resolving conflict. How to avoid the conflict, you must have to learn. And you know that in the society, there is the relationship with the others. And you know that relational or social skill play an important role. So our interpersonal skills are very important. That we learn it from our home. We learn it from our neighborhood. And when we are learning some good skills, the social skills, we must have to utilize. in the workplace, in the schools, or any organizations. So some of the basic practice exercise are given below that you must have to practice all these things. Practice taking instructions. This is very easier. It is very easier said than done. It is very easy to say, but it is very difficult to practice. That you know that instruction will have to follow. The advices will have to follow. Each and everybody has the right to give advice. But when we will have to get the advice, or when we are giving the advice, it is very easy to listen. But when we are practicing it, we are facing the difficulty. Most of us think that we already know all these things. There is no need of the advice. But instead of saying all these things, try to accept the advice of others. Try to practice it. So if we will practice it, then definitely you can explain the problem and to the manager also, the headmaster also, the principal also, so that we can able to get this solution of the problem. So sometimes we are also not interested to get the help of the others. There is the time to take the help of the others. And when we are so overwhelmed, that when we are very much happy, at that time we are thinking that something has we have done that will get maximum appreciations. But some stresses are with us. So to avoid these stresses, then definitely you must have to take the help of the others. So no fear should be there, and we must have to get the confidence to finish the work, because sometimes we are incompetent, but we are not in a mood to express our incompetency to the others. And another process is practice accepting feedback. Practice accepting feedback means it is the natural process for us that always we are becoming defensive. That when we hear anything negative about ourselves, we are not interested to do. So we must have to consider it, that we must have to accept the feedback of the others, that we are doing mistake and somebody is saying that you are doing mistake. We must have to take it in the positive manner. So definitely it will help us to fulfill something. We can do anything. Practice giving constructive criticism. Two types of the criticisms are there: constructive criticism and destructive criticism. So when somebody is praising you, when somebody is accepting your suggestions, and somebody is giving you the positive criticism is there, then automatically sometimes we are saying that there is the flattery, and he is teasing me. I am doing something, he is teasing me, he is not accepting it. But don't think that he is teasing you, he is misbehaving you. Always you must have to accept the positive criticism of the others, and destructive criticism, one who is giving, always you must have to ignore. Suppose you know that in our life we must have to accept the positive criticism. Always try to avoid the negative criticisms. That silence is golden. If you will just neglect your enemies, then you can get very nice satisfaction in your life. Suppose someone is doing wrong with you, try to avoid it. Try to neglect it. Just neglect. Just neglect means you will never listen about that fellow. You will never listen anything about himself, and you will avoid what others are saying regarding that fellow. So always try to accept the positiveness, positive comments, and that will help you. Then practice receiving compliments are there, that many of us, especially shy by nature, when someone compliments us, we are saying, why? Do you think we would not deserve the compliments? But we are not worthy of them? Sometimes I think that if somebody is giving us the compliments, then whether we'll have to accept it or reject it. I will say that you will have to smile and thank when anybody is giving you the compliments. If anybody is giving you the compliments, then definitely that is the genuine happiness expression. That one is expressing his happiness. And when one is expressing in happiness, then automatically we can able to accept it. Practice giving compliments. Use simple language, your simple smile. Look it, look into the person's eyes while complimenting him. It sounds more genuine way. That if we'll smile, looking at the face, looking the eyes of that person, then that person will get maximum satisfaction. So there are certain few social skills which are listed, and we must have to just read all these things. Commonly needed social skills are there. We must have to accept it. Suppose always saying thank you, dealing better with anger and frustration. When you are angry, you are in frustration, you must have to deal in better manner. Ask the questions which are appropriate. Accept the consequences which administrator has given you by the teacher also. Accepting the responsibility for one's own behavior. For your own behavior, what responsibility are given to you, you must have to do it. Dealing with failures, frustration, and making mistakes and insult. You must have to behave properly. You are always doing something. You will have to get the failure, you will have the frustration, you will have to do the mistakes, and you will be insulted by any means. So always your behavior should be appropriate. Then you must have to initiate a conversation with the others, accepting no for an answer, joining a group activity already in progress. So always you should not say no. Following the direction, you must have to follow the direction. Making friends, always you must have to make friends. So sometimes we will have to cooperate with the peers, coping with sometimes problems what we are having. The threats are there. It may be the verbal threats are there, physical threats are there, aggression of the others are there. You must have the capacity to manage it. So whenever your turn will come, wait for it. And you should not lose your temper. And your behavior should be very appropriate. So what steps we'll have to follow in teaching social skills? That we all have realized the importance and need for the social skills in our life. So already we know that if we will have no social skills, we cannot adjust properly. So a principal, a teacher, a college manager, director of the institution, all are aware, and they are using the appropriate social skills to make success. So the teachers are there, the managers are there, the trainers are there. They are all not equal. Their behavior has to be different, but they must have some sort of the social skills, and all these social skills must have to be developed properly. And as the students, the responsibility of the teachers and the principals and the college managers, director of any institution should aware the students about the different types of the social skills so that they can able to manage their stress and strain. But how we can manage the stress? Stress management is there. You know that stress, always we are having the stress. Stress management is always can be done dealing with our psychological stress. Psychological and physiological stress are there. Psychological stress is very internal, and external our physiological stress. So definitely we will have to fight with the psychological stress and physiological stress. So stress management is very effective when a person utilizes the different tools and techniques to cope with the stressful condition. When we are having the stress, it may be the physical or it may be the psychological, then definitely we must have to make a balance. we must have to cope with the stressful situations. So stress results from an imbalance between the demands and resources. That means you know that the stresses will come when there will be the imbalance between the demands and resources. That you all are having some sort of the resources and you are having some sort of the demands. But when you are not in a position to fulfill the demands with your resources, then automatically you are in the stress. So the pressures is always able to get stress. So definitely pressure exceeds one's perceived ability to cope. The stress arises. That when we are unable to adjust with the situation, then automatically stress will come. So there is a transactional model. The stress management transactional model is there. Stress management was developed and premised on the idea that stress is not a direct response to a stressor, or rather one's resources and ability to cope with the immediate stress response. Therefore, when we are having the inability to cope with the stress responses, then we will not in a amicable adjustment with the situation. The stress is there, but we want to control it. But stresses are always controllable. We must have to know. And Ledger's and Falkman interpretation of the stress focuses on transaction between the people and their external environment. And you know that we are always living with our environment and with the external environment. Then stress is nothing but the result. How a stressor is appraised means how he is able to consider himself regarding the stress, how the resources are there to cope with the stresses. Then we must have to consider it. The value judgment is there. We must have to know our own capabilities and capacities, how to cope with that situation. Then next is health realization and health model. That in this model, stresses result from appraising oneself, one's circumstances through mental filter of insecurity or negativity. That in our mind, sometimes we are insecure, we are having the negativity, and we are not feeling well. Then, when we are not feeling well, our inner wisdom is not working, our common sense is not working. So in this process, we must have to apply our inner wisdom, we must have to apply our common sense, then we can able to develop the ability to recognize the stress, and we must have to give over the insecure thinking, and automatically the stress will be reduced. But there are certain techniques of the stress management. The several ways are there to cope with the stress. One is autogenic training. Means autogenic training is nothing but it gives our body in the relaxing manner. We will feel calm and relaxation of the body. That always we want to take the rest. And if we take the rest, your body will take the rest, then automatically it helps to reduce the stress and anxiety. Cognitive therapy. Cognitive is always related to knowledge. Cognitive behavioral therapy is more concerned with dealing the current problems. What problems we are facing, whether it is applicable to me or not, and what type of the knowledge and resources we have, experiences we have to face the situation, then our previous knowledge, your previous ideas, your previous experiences will help to solve the problem. Conflict resolution, that each and everybody has the conflict. And you know that when goals are there and we are not achieving it, we are sometimes feeling the equal positions of the goals, then definitely we are not able to accept any goals. Suppose for a father, and the father is interested that my son should to be a doctor, and sometimes my father is also interested that my son is to be an chartered accountant or a politician. Then you must have to think that several goals and objectives are there. You must have to accept one because you are having one son. You may accept that your son will be the doctor or a politician or a chartered accountant. Then automatically he will accept that my son will be a doctor, but he has no uh, good marks in the biology. Then definitely your aims and objective will not be fulfilled. So always you should not remain in conflict. You will have to accept any alternative what you have. Suppose you are interested to take coffee, but if you are not, if you are interested to take coffee, but if not a coffee is not available, then you can satisfy yourself with the tea. Suppose a daughter is interested to marry an engineer or a doctor. Suppose a father is interested to give marriage to a daughter to an engineer or a doctor, then automatically you have to choose one, doctor or engineer. Professions are not same. Activities will not same. So definitely you will have to accept one. Exercise, physical and mental activity. Exercise means it is nothing but physical and mental activity that keeps us healthy. Suppose if we do exercise, morning walk is also exercise, mental activity is also one type of exercise. Suppose meditation is there, then both exercises makes us healthy and strong. Having a hobby, when you are having the stress, then automatically you will have to accept a hobby which you have interest. Then your mind diversion will be there, and you can divert your mind, and automatically you will have to out of your stress. Next is meditation. Meditation and deep breathing. We will have to uh, explain after in the last part of the unit. Another is relaxation technique. That is yoga and a massage meditation exercise. You know that if you will engage yourself in the yoga, in massage will be there, or meditation will be there, you will have to do exercise, then automatically relaxation you will have to get. Artistic expression, that each and every one has some artistic idea, artistic knowledge. Suppose you are a painter, you are a dancer, you are a singer, you will have to engage yourself in such type of activity. Then your stress will be you are able to avoid the stress. Fractional relaxation means it is time gap. That for a time being, you will have to avoid the stress. That is, we can say that for time being, you will have to avoid the stress, then you can able to get peace. Progressive muscle relaxation is there, and you know that muscles relaxation means our physical body, if there will be muscle relaxation will be there, you will get very happiness when you will go to the bed and you get a deep sleep. Deep sleep will give you the much more uh, pleasure. Spa, you know that it is spa is a place where the people go for healthy and for beautification. Regular exercise are there, beauty treatment is there, cosmetic treatments are there, then automatically you will have to get pleasure there. You will go to the spa and remain for a while, then you can get the pleasure. Stress balls are there. Sometimes you will find that toy ball is filled with soft materials. And if you will sit, then automatically you will just get pleasure moving either and the other, just you will round. So you will, if you will use it, then you can have some muscle tensions, and automatically your palm, your hand, your legs will be very relieving position. You will get pleasure out of it, and your anxiety will be over. Natural medicine, that is naturopathic medicine is there, and sometimes we are always depending upon the nature. In nature, having the resources which can cure all the diseases, then automatically we can take the naturopathic medicines and we can get pleasure out of it. Time management, already we have discussed that coordination should be maintained and effectiveness behaviors should we have, and maximum effectiveness we will have to get from our own efforts. Listening is very good habit of ourselves, and when you are in stress, try to listen certain music, and you will have to see your favorite serials, and also you can go through the YouTubes, and also the musics are there. You can keep it and give a slow sound and enjoy. And when you will enjoy, then automatically you will get a good sleep. Meditation. Meditation, you know that it is the mental discipline, that how we are disciplining our life. Then meditation has been accepted as a healthy way to manage stress, and it is for all good reasons. It provides health enhancing benefit. If we have to do meditation, then automatically the symptoms of the stress and anxiety, stress is nothing but an anxiety. Relieve the physical complaints about ourselves. When we are having the stress, we have the headaches. When we are having the stress, we are having the immunity problems, then automatically meditation will give us to give some sort of the health balancing benefit, that our health will be good. Sound health will always give the sound mind. Meditation can be practiced in different ways. One is quiet mind. Quiet mind means you know that through meditation our thinking process will become very quiet, and we'll not focus on stressors. Those who are giving the pain, we will not give stress on them. We'll try to avoid it. Our minds will be very calm and quiet. Being in the now, our past gives us the discomfort. Our past is always remind us the bad deeds. Then try to avoid the past. Think about the future. Meditation can help us to focus on right now. Think about the futures. Then altered state of consciousness. Meditation increases brain activity, and brain activity, if it will be increases, then our positive thoughts will develop, and automatically we'll have to control our emotions. And when you will control your emotions, you will have to remain in the conscious state. Then automatically stress will gradually vanish. And you know that types of meditation techniques are there. Some basic categories of meditation techniques are focused meditation techniques, that is activity oriented meditations, mindful techniques, spiritual meditations, different types of the meditations. And those who are uh, expert in meditation, they know that what is spiritual meditation, which is mindful meditation, which is activity oriented meditation, which is focused meditation. And focused meditation, activity meditation, mindful meditation, spiritual meditations, these are all the meditations. But all the meditations a particular individual cannot do. You will have to accept one meditation. Then automatically you can do it, and after that you will have to control your mind. Next is deep breathing is there. Deep breathing means you know that deep breathing technique is a great way to fight stress and anxiety, and it helps for relaxation. And you know that it is also a one type of practice. What practice? You will lay down flat, then put one hand on your stomach just above your belly bottom, and the other hand on your chest. Inhale slowly and breathe. And if you will have the deep breath, then automatically your stomach will rise. Pit, pit will be there. Stomach pit is will be there. And hold your breath for a second, and slowly exhale it. And lastly, the sink back down. Then automatically it is one type of the yoga, physical exercise. So if you are having the stress, if you are having the mental agony, anxiety, or conflict or frustration, then definitely try to avoid it. Just neglect it, just avoid it, and you will have to avoid the persons those who are giving you the pain, those who are giving you the pleasure, try to accept it, try to think it. Don't think about the past, what wrong you have done, what error you have committed, and what type of the mischiefs you have done, and which reminds you your misdeeds. Always you will think that past is always past. We have to think about the future. We live in present and our future is bright and we are the human beings. We are having the thinking power and reasoning power. If we will think properly, if we will reason properly, if we will judge what is wrong and what is right, and if we will avoid the people who are giving us the pain around us, then try to avoid it. Just neglect them and you will get peace and you will live in harmony and your surroundings will be happy and you will be happy. Hope you will be always happy, reducing your stress, reducing your conflict, reducing your tension, and always do the needful. You know your capability, you know your ability, and you can do whatever you can do. You should not compare with others, and you should be a good man in the society. Always should say that you are a good man or woman, and you are not a bad man or you are not a bad woman. If recognition will be there, you will be satisfied, and it will help you to make your children bright and the ideal citizens of the country. Hope you should live peacefully and let others to live in peace. We hope, hoping the best will remain completing the fourth unit. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Okay, tomorrow we'll have to meet just 5. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.